Turning our attention now to the day's top story in a big message to the ecosystem, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, who's currently in Washington, D.C., gave a befitting reply while commenting on the alleged negative Western perception of India and said that Muslims in India are doing far better than Muslims in Pakistan. This, remember, after Sonia Gandhi as well as Mamata Banerjee have both claimed that festivals are being used to bully others. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, who's in the United States, spoke up against the perceptions that are being now projected against India, saying that the West must go by hard facts and stop believing perceptions of a few who are far removed from ground realities in the country.
India has the second largest Muslim population in the world. And that population is only growing in numbers. I would ask, will this happen in India, in the sense, will the Muslim population be growing than what it was in 1947? Pakistan declared itself an Islamic country, but however is said, minorities will be protected. Every minority has been dwindling in its number, or if I may use the word which is harsher, decimated in Pakistan.
Now, Nirmala Sitharaman during that interaction did not name anyone explicitly, but there are many in the opposition who've been making fairly controversial remarks. To begin with, Mamata Banerjee, who earlier gave, in fact, a clean chit to an entire community even before the probe had been concluded in the Ram Navami violence, just to name a few.
Direct instruction দেয়া ছিল একদিকে যেমন অন্নপূর্ণা পূজা চলছে অন্যদিকে মুসলিমদের রোজা চলছে রমজান মাসও চলছে আর আমাদের এখানে 33% মুসলিমও আছে তাদের পরিবারগুলো রোজা করে রমজান করে উপবাস করে এই সময়টা তারা কোনো অন্যায় কাজ করে না কারণ এটা হচ্ছে আল্লাহর কাছে ওদের স্যাক্রিফাইস বলতে পারেন
The Bhartiya Janata Party has, of course, relied on what Nirmala Sitharaman said in Washington and used her comments to attack the opposition. This is something that the BJP has done. And the Bhartiya Janata Party and Sonia Gandhi also, in fact, in an editorial, had torn into the government of India. Had launched a scathing attack on the centre, and the former Congress chief had alleged that there's enforced silence on the actions of the Sarkar. In an editorial, she's also written, she says, and I quote, "Enforcing silence cannot solve India's problems. The Prime Minister is silent on legitimate questions on his government's actions. Religious festivals have become occasions to intimidate as well as bully others." And she said this in an editorial in The Hindu. The Bhartiya Janata Party has hit out at Sonia Gandhi for what it describes as a selective outrage.
हमेशा ही भारत के अंदर सभी को साथ लेके चलने की परंपरा रही है, पर कुछ देश हमेशा ही भारत की गलत छवि दिखाने का प्रयास करते रहे। तो भारत एक ऐसा देश मिलेगा जहां मेजॉरिटी हमेशा मिनॉरिटी को साथ लेके चलती है, और क्योंकि हमारा मानना है हम सबका डीएनए एक है, हम सब भारत के बेटे बेटियां हैं, और हर एक का अधिकार और हर एक का श्रम इकट्ठा लगना चाहिए। देश के जितने भी अल्पसंख्यक समुदाय हैं सब मिलकर काम कर रहे हैं। भारत के बारे में गलत छवि बनाने वाले पहले भी फेल हुए थे, आगे भी फेल होंगे।
Nirmala Sitharaman, where she is believing the BJP, basing on the RSS, they don't know the historical condition. They never participated in the freedom struggle, so they don't know how we got freedom. Also, they are miscalculating that the Muslim population is going up and non-Muslim population going down. Is also absolutely wrong and is misleading. And Pakistan is different. That they based on the religious concept. We can't find them. Why you are comparing with Pakistan and India? Pakistan started with its religious base, and India is based on the secular democratic forms. And don't compare with this, because they don't know about the freedom for struggle. That's why they are talking in most irresponsible way.
Now, not very surprisingly, the Congress party has agreed with what Sonia Gandhi had written in that editorial about enforced silence when it comes to questioning the actions of the centre.
ने उनको लिंचिंग पे बोलते हुए नहीं सुना। विदेश में जाकर के सेमिनार नुमा माहौल में कुछ भी बोल दीजिए, लेकिन देश के हालात जो है ना वो चिंता का विषय नहीं होते तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट को नहीं बोलना पड़ता। सर्वोच्च न्यायालय क्यों बोल रहा है? क्या वो गलत कह रहा है? निर्मला जी ऑर्केस्ट्रा में शामिल रही है, लेकिन जमीनी हकीकत के लिए आपकी पार्टी, आपकी सरकार क्या कर रही है? साल में एक बार चर्च का विजिट कर लिया और एक दिन चादर भिजवा दी अजमेर शरीफ में। इससे महात्मा गांधी की जो संकल्पना थी ना, हाउ शुड माइनॉरिटीज बी ट्रीटेड, उसकी पूर्ति नहीं होती।
Now, the Bhartiya Janata Party has, of course, reminded Sonia Gandhi that she has herself been fairly selective in her criticism of the government of India, and in fact that she's turning a blind eye to some very strong observations being made by the Kolkata High Court with respect to the events that took place during Ram Navami and the Ram Navami festivities in both Howrah as well as Hooghly. Now, there have been certain oral observations being made by the court, which is still looking into a petition that's been filed as to whether or not the violence that took place needs to be investigated by the NIA. Now, the court has said that at a prima facie level, the violence that took place appeared to be pre-planned. The court has also said that there is an allegation that stones had been pelted from the roofs at the time that the procession was being undertaken, that these stones could not actually have been taken to the roofs in just 10 to 15 minutes, which indicated that there was some preparation that went into this violence. There was also intelligence failure. This is what the court has in fact said in its oral observations as well. And that a third group could possibly be taking advantage of this situation. This is something that the court said during the course of its oral observations in a petition that's been hearing in the Calcutta High Court. If the third group is involved, a central agency must probe. The operative bit, of course, is the fact that this is a petition at the end of the day to seek an NIA probe into this particular matter. The court, following a fairly exhaustive round of hearings, has managed to, in fact, reserve the order. A final verdict is awaited. It says that it will be difficult for the state police to find out. Now, these are still in the realm of oral observations being made by the Calcutta High Court, but nevertheless, fairly strong observations with respect to the violence that took place during Ram Navami in both Howrah as well as Hooghly. So why is it that these observations have not been taken on board by the likes of Sonia Gandhi, who appear to have arrived at a predetermined conclusion with respect to the violence that usually takes place at these festivals? That's a question that is also now being asked on the part of the Bhartiya Janata Party, not just of Sonia Gandhi, but also what Mamata Banerjee had herself said towards the end of last month.